Good morning, everybody. I am Hilary. I am sharing this video with you today. Sorry, I tried to get my camera. I might have to adjust that a little bit. Be patient with me. I wanted you to be able to see me and what I was doing. I don't know that that was any better. So top of my head's gonna get cut off, it's fine. Okay, so I'll wait a couple minutes so hopefully people will come on and start watching. First person is my husband. Good morning, Jason. So I actually reached out to Erin, who owns this page, the Des Moines Parent, and I wanted to share some easy crafts with everybody that use things that we have in our cupboards. So that's what we're calling it, crafting from your cupboards. And I wanted it to be something that could be easy for everybody. Might need some help from parents on a few things, especially the craft that we're going to do next week. But this one is fairly easy once the cutting and things like that are done. So we're going to make, this is what your final product will look like. And it actually turned out really nice. I love the colors, perfect for Easter. They're sort of a muted pastel. But we're going to make little seed planters, and I'm just using egg cartons, and I think most of them come this way. Some are styrofoam now, but they're just this, it's like a pressed paper or cardboard material. So it takes the food coloring paint pretty well. So I decided to use food coloring because it's safe. So when you go to plant these outside or wherever, it's not going to be harmful to the environment or anything like that. But if you have paints at home and want to use those instead, you definitely can. You can use craft paint or the food coloring like I am. You could use dye if you have that, which is basically the same thing as the food coloring, just a little bit stronger. And I'm just using run-of-the-mill, old school food coloring. That's all that is. I know some people don't think that's even safe, but we're not eating it, so it's okay. Okay, so we can get started maybe this morning. So the first thing we're gonna do is get rid of this top part. We don't need it. The one that I made here, actually the top was the same material. So you could do something with that, but this one is paper. So I'm just gonna cut the whole thing off, cut it off the middle. I don't need this flat part either, so cut that off. And I sent out the material list for this, so if you have it set up and you want to craft with me, you can. Otherwise, you can just watch me fumble around a little bit. Okay, so we cut that off, and then I'm going to cut this other flap off on the other side, just because we don't need it and it's kind of in the way. So what's nice about these is that you can let your seedlings grow, and I know this is not a new craft, and I've even seen some people posting them in their feeds, but what's nice about this is that when you're ready to go or plant them, you can cut this apart and plant it. So the other thing, and I didn't share this because not everyone has eggs on hand, not everyone eats eggs, but the other thing that you can do to make this a little bit easier and it feeds the plants and the seeds more is put half of an eggshell in each one of these. So you could just save your eggshells as you are cooking throughout the week and put them in here. I did not do that. It still will work. You'll just cut it apart and it goes into the ground really nicely. So now we're gonna paint, and I just have actually some paper that came out of an Amazon box. I've been saving all the materials lately because we're crafting and we want to use them and not waste anything. So all I did, if you can see my bowls here, is I mixed up 3 different colors of food coloring, and you can do as many colors as you want. I just did 3. Number 1, because I was running out of food coloring, and so I didn't want to have to buy any more, and I only am coloring 2 of them, so I don't need to do a ton. So what I did, there weren't specific measurements for the food coloring, but I just filled up a bowl maybe halfway through because I wanted the color to be really concentrated, and then I did follow, I don't have the box with me, but I followed the directions on the back of the box for like the special colors. You can just do straight up red, blue, yellow, green, which is what comes in the box, or you can make special colors, which is what I wanted to do. So I did a dusty rose, an orange, and teal, because those are what I had enough colors for. So then here are my brushes to pick from. Really, you could use anything. If you don't have brushes, you probably could dip fabric or something like that. I'm assuming that most people have brushes. You kind of want to use a little bit smaller of one, just because that way you can sort of get the dye just on the individual pieces and not the whole thing, and not have it go all over. So you'll need however many brushes for your different colors, and then we'll just start painting it on. And I got kind of worried when I did mine the first time that the color wasn't taking, but it was really because the cardboard was getting wet, and so it was making it seem like it wasn't as colored. But once it all dried, then it showed up really pretty. The one I was most worried about was the yellow, because it definitely was not showing up. It just looked like wet, dirty cardboard. But it did start to really take effect once it dried. So then you can do whatever pattern you want. I just sort of did a miscellaneous color design. I just think it's pretty, and you can do as much or as little as you want. And no one's really gonna see the the bottom of this. They're just gonna see the individual spots where the eggs go, but if you wanna take your time and make it really pretty, you certainly can. So then I just dip, try to move this so you can see it. I mean, just dip in and get some on your water, and then I just tap it out on the bowl to get some of the excess off so it doesn't drip all over it while I'm moving it. Feeling pretty Bob Ross right now, so that's good. And when you plant this in the ground, obviously you're not gonna see the colored part, but while it's sitting on your table or windowsill or wherever, it'll look really pretty and just kind of bring us some joy as we're all stuck inside. So that's really the big part behind this. I mean, I love to craft and make things and all the things, but also we are stuck at home and can't go do as many things as we normally would be able to. So just filling our time, and this is the perfect time of year actually for this to happen. So being able to get some seeds ready, thinking about gardening and putting our flower pots together. Hopefully we will still be able to go to the flower shop and, you know, do the drive up pickup and get maybe our plants to put in the ground for our gardens. So now I'm just doing the third color, and you can see this one's a lot brighter. I did orange this time instead of yellow. Maybe I should be holding it up here so you can see. I don't usually do activities and videotape. So does anybody have any questions, or has anyone done this before and have a different way that you do it? I'm always open to suggestions, and I think other people would like to see maybe what you've done. I think the eggshell definitely is a good thing. It gives it extra nutrients, and it is, like I said, a way to pull it out and put it into the ground. The cool thing about these actually is that I know I've bought several kinds of plants that are already a seedling or started, and they come in the same material, and so when it's wet and has really been saturated, you can just kind of peel off the bottom, and then that gives the root ball structure in the ground, but then also when you peel off the bottom, it allows the roots to spread out. So this is a really good thing to use. Even if you're not gonna color it, even if you're just starting your seeds, this is a good way to do it. And you're using something instead of throwing it away or whatever, which these can be recycled. And actually we get an egg subscription from someone I went to high school with. She delivers eggs to us, and we just give her the empty cartons back so that she can reuse them. So we'll just keep going here. I have the silhouette, like I said, that craft planned for next week, and I'm excited about that. And then the following week, I think I'm going to share how to make a planter. So if anybody is excited about houseplants like I am, it'll be a fun way to reuse some things that you already have and create something out of it. Let's see, purple is next. This turned out more purple than Dusty Rose, even though I followed the directions, but I think it's because I'm not using a lot of water, so it wasn't thinned down at all. So you can just kind of experiment with the colors and decide which ones you like best. This would actually work if you wanted to just do some painting on paper too. Food coloring you want to be careful with because it does tend to stain. So if kids are doing this, might want to have a smock on or something like that and just cover your table. The other day I was doing some painting and I used some plastic garbage bags. I used new ones, and a friend of mine commented and asked if I was going to reuse the bags, and I felt kind of bad because I had thrown a couple of them away. So when I was done with the other ones, I decided to fold them back up once they were dry, and we'll use them for actual trash. Actually, I'm using one today, so. All right, almost have one side done. So what's everybody doing to stay busy right now? Are we doing a lot of crafting? Are we trying to still get outside? I know we've been taking a lot of walks during the day, and our dog is enjoying us being home so much. I'm usually home because I do work from home most of the time, but my husband's home now full time too. So we're just trying to stay active and not just sit around, I guess. Enjoy the sunshine. I'm really thankful that it's getting nice outside. All right, so we'll just keep going around here. And this is not perfect, so anybody who likes things to be perfect, this might be a tough craft for you, but I think you'll still enjoy it. And if you used regular paint or craft paint, you could definitely be a lot more precise and a lot more artistic, but this is just giving it some fun colors so that when you display it, it'll look pretty. And I think it's perfect for Easter time. Now we're gonna have two colors the same by each other, so maybe I'll do this. And like I said, you can do as many colors as you wanted. So if you wanted to do a ton of different color combinations, you definitely could do that. You could get to the end and do another egg carton and mix all your colors together, or mix a couple different colors together, and you would come up with something different. So do purple. These would be super fun, I think, to do if you collected enough of them to put together and maybe give them to grandparents as a gift or your neighbor as a gift. You could set it out on their porch so that they could leave it out there until it's safe right now. But in the future, when we don't have to worry about germs and things like that, you could give these as a gift, and I think that would be super fun. I would love to get it and then be able to watch the seedlings grow and then put it outside. So you could do flower seeds in here, or you could do vegetable seeds if you're gonna start a garden. I think that would be fun. You could do some tomato plants. We usually do tomatoes in a container, so you could start it and then just transfer to the container once the seeds start to grow and you get a nice sized little plant. You can see I'm just putting it in the food coloring water, dabbing it off on the side, and then just kind of tapping it on, and it absorbs, the cardboard absorbs the color and the water. But you do want something under there. The sheet of paper is really wet here. So just to be careful that it doesn't get all over you, get all over the floor and the table. You'll want something under there. Almost done with this part. Erin says they're doing lots of walks and exploring. Yes, I would agree. This is a perfect time to get out to parks. They have not closed them to us yet, so this is a good time to take advantage of that and just kind of get out and enjoy the sunshine. We have been doing a lot of that. We actually went to a new park the other day, new to us, in Winterset the other day, and we also went to a few of the covered bridges in Winterset if you're here in Iowa. And that was really nice. It was really windy out. yesterday was beautiful. The sun was shining. I did get out of the house a little bit, just took a little drive and went to get something really quick, but it was nice to enjoy the sunshine for a little bit. It was warm and just really nice, not too windy. So yes, if you can get outside, I think that's a super good idea. And once it's time to start doing yard work and things like that, I think it will make it a lot easier for us to handle this because we can be outside and just enjoy the nice weather. Okay, so this is kind of what it's gonna look like right now. Obviously a lot darker. You can maybe see it dripping there. I have some extra. So then I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm not gonna do this whole thing, but I'm gonna paint around the edge and then these sort of cone things in the middle. Do the teal. So again, you can do this as much or as little as you want. You don't have to even paint it. That's not a necessary part. It's just kind of fun and makes it pretty. I will tell you that I'm liking the colors a lot more today than the one that I practiced with the other day because I used less water, and so it's giving me a brighter color. So that might be something to consider. Just use a little bit of water versus like filling a whole bowl, and it'll give you brighter colors if you don't want to use as much food coloring, because you don't use a ton of the water. You won't run out of it, but so you don't need a lot, but the less that you use, the brighter your colors will be. And I actually bought these paintbrushes. It was a pack of 20, I think, for like $20. So $1 a piece. They're really nice brushes. And I thought, I sort of planned because things were getting kind of crazy, and I thought, well, if we're not going to be able to go out and do things, I'm going to want to do some crafting. So I had been stockpiling some supplies for a while all of this was happening. Okay, so now I'm just sort of painting the cones. And again, this is just for looks. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help anything for the seeds, but it's just so it can kind of be pretty. Ideally, you would want to do this maybe a couple days ahead, but if you're painting along with me right now, it's not going to hurt it at all to do the seeds and the dirt today. Or you can do this part and then do your dirt and seeds later once it dries. Okay, so I think I have as much done there as I want to do. So kind of, oh, it's dripping a lot. Kind of hold it up. It looks a little crazy right now. Some of the colors ran, but that's okay. It's kind of like a swirled Easter egg. So when they dry, again, it's gonna look a lot prettier, kind of soft like that. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is put our dirt in. And two things. I just learned that for whatever reason, I've never heard this before. I have a lot of house plants, and we do get like bugs and stuff like that. So if you're worried about bugs, you can microwave the dirt. I think I read for 2 minutes on high, and it should kill like the bugs and bacteria and things like that. So if you're worried about bugs at all, you can microwave the dirt and it will supposedly kill them off. There are tons of articles online about what temperature it needs to reach and things like that. I'm not too worried about this dirt. I bought organic moisture control dirt, and I'll use this for this project. I'll use it in my pots outside and to repot my houseplants. So thank you, Erin. She said that's a good tip. The other thing that you can do if you're worried about bugs in your plants inside is to make a spray. I know a lot of people do essential oils. You can make a water-based spray out of it. So just hot water and whatever oil you're using, On Guard or frankincense or Thieves, depending on what brand. And you can make a mix of that and spray it on the dirt, and that will help to kill the eggs. It won't kill the bugs that are necessarily already hatched, but it will help to control that. So that's just another thing that you can do. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do is I just have just a tablespoon here, and you're gonna put some dirt in. And then I did not put this in my notes either, but coffee grounds. So these are just the coffee grounds from our coffee yesterday, and they give a lot of nutrients and plants love them. So I'm just gonna take out just a little bit right here and put that in and sort of mix it in with the dirt that I already put in, and then you're gonna top it with some more dirt. So the coffee grounds will just help it, just like the eggshell would. It just gives it extra nutrients and emits oxygen as it breaks down. Carbon dioxide? I don't know. So anyway, coffee grounds are good for it. So we'll just continue to go through and fill in with our soil and the dirt and just sort of mix it in. Some people also use old coffee, which you can do that too. You can water your indoor plants with old coffee and they like that. It's the same kind of thing. Maybe once a week if you're gonna do that, not a ton. But you can also do this outside with your outside plants. So even if you're not gonna plant seeds inside to grow, you can water your plants outside with old coffee, or you can use coffee grounds, you can use crushed eggshells. A lot of people make a mix that way. It just feeds them, it's an organic food for them. Keeps them healthy. Does anybody on here plant a garden? We haven't had one for a few years, and my husband wants to plant one. So I think we'll plan one this year and get it all ready to go. We need to get it fenced off because our dog likes to go out and dig in the dirt right now. So we need to get that figured out so that he can't just dig. I would like to plant some flowers, like cutting flowers, but we do have rabbits, so I think we're gonna put a fence around it because last year I tried to plant some tomato plants and they were mowed down overnight. So we have to figure that out. I don't want to do anything to harm the rabbits, so we're just gonna fence them out. Get that in there. I don't know, maybe I should have some music going in the background here. I am using my AirPods. I don't know if anybody else has done that for videos, but hopefully it'll make the sound better. Okay. So the nice thing about starting seeds inside instead of buying plants is that it's so much cheaper. A pack of seeds can be anywhere from 99 cents to $4 or whatever, depending on what you're buying. And it's so much cheaper than buying at the store. And you can get, it can be as simple like this, or you can get as elaborate as you want. I've seen great big, like almost indoor greenhouses. So if you've ever seen a rolling baker's rack with the trays that slide in, they make it like that and then like a plastic zipper thing around it. I don't know if I'm quite to that point yet, but it would be kind of cool and a lot cheaper to start your seeds. So if you're wanting to get into something like that, there are a lot of options. All right, I'm on my last one. So you could do as many of these as you want, and it's all basically free. If you have the dirt, have the food coloring in your cupboard. Most people have food coloring, I think. All right, so there's what that looks like. I kind of got some dirt all over it, but I can kind of brush that off once it dries. So then the last thing that you would do is to plant the seeds. And I don't have any seeds and I haven't been out to the store yet, but a couple of things that you want to consider with your seeds is the size of them. So sort of the rule of thumb is to plant your seeds 2 times their height or diameter, whatever that is. So however big your seed is, you want to plant it 2 times that into the dirt. So there are some seeds that are super teeny tiny. They're almost like paper-like. And so those are just sort of a scatter seed. You would just put them on top of the soil and just tamp the soil down. And then there are other seeds that are quite large, and for those you can take the end of something like this and poke it down in the dirt like that, make a hole, put your seed in, and then sort of just move the dirt over the top of it. You want it to be tight enough so that they're not gonna blow away, but also you don't want to compact it too much that you end up pushing it down further. So it's 2 times whatever the size of the seed is that you're planting. That's how far into the dirt you want to do it. And then I've also been told that the rule of 3 seeds, 1 for the birds, 1 for the wind, 1 for you. So you don't have to contend with the wind or the birds inside, but maybe plant 2 just to be safe. You don't know if they'll always germinate. So the seed has to be activated by the soil and the water and the sunshine that it's getting to actually activate, and then that is what grows the plant out of it. So if you're planting outside, the rule of 3, 1 for the birds, 1 for the wind, 1 for you. And inside, you could maybe do 2 and be safe with that. So that is really all I have, other than once this is done, once your plants are sprouted and growing, I would do this before they get too big. And I forgot to mention this, you might want to set this or even do this project on a cookie sheet with a rimmed cookie sheet, so that as you're watering this, the water has somewhere to go if it doesn't all absorb into the egg carton. So then you could easily take it to your sink to water, or just have some protection there from the water coming out. So before the plants get too big, what I would do is cut these cone things off. You can just snip them off. This is definitely a parent thing. And then you're just going to cut the individual egg spots off, and then those are what you put into the ground. So you will want to make sure that when you plant them, the cardboard is somewhat wet, and you should be able to, by the time that these are ready, they will have soaked so many times with water that you should be able to just pull off this bottom part, tear it off, and the roots will be coming out the bottom. And then that will allow the plant to have structure in the ground. The roots will have structure, and then also the opening at the bottom will let the roots come out. So this super fun project, and you could grow flowers or vegetables, whatever it is. You could grow wheatgrass. We grow wheatgrass for our cat to eat all the time. You could definitely plant that, and you could start it in here and move it to a container. That's actually a really good idea. Maybe I need to stop buying the stuff for it. But whatever that looks like for you, whatever you want to plant, you definitely can use this. We all have egg cartons, I think. And if you don't, ask your neighbors. They should probably have some. I would assume they could set outside for you. And it's a super fun project. This will be really cute for Easter. You could even paint this and just put painted Easter eggs in it if you don't want to plant seeds. That would eliminate the need for dirt or seeds. So hopefully you have enjoyed this little project, and I will be posting a few links for where you can order seeds. I know there are some places that will send you free wildflower seeds because they want you to plant them. And also I will share some written out instructions just in case you missed the video and or you want something to reference later. So thank you for tuning in, and I'm super excited to have a couple more crafts to share with you in the weeks ahead. Hopefully everybody stays safe and healthy, and we can stay busy and get some things done and just really enjoy this downtime. I'm trying to be thankful for it, and all I ever want is slower time and the time to do my fun projects and things like that. And I've been given that time. We've all been given the time. So hopefully we can appreciate it and just enjoy it. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and have a great day.